Good evening, everyone.
Dobro večer svima.
Tonight we have a very sensitive topic.
Večeras imamo zaista osetljivu temu.
And so I wish to apologize for any possible hurt that there could be in the audience.
Želim da se unapred izvinim ako nekoga u publici budem na neki način povredio.
And I understand if it is there.
A verujem da ako se tako nešto desi,
I have experienced it myself.
i sam takve stvari iskusio.
But after all, if we are to search for truth as for hidden treasure,
Ali na kraju krajeva, ukoliko želimo da tražimo istinu kao sakriveno blago,
then to make the truth a lie so that it doesn't hurt wouldn't make much sense, would it?
ne bi imalo smisla da istinu obučemo u laž tako da niko ne bude povređen ili pogođen.
Because who wants to live a lie?
Ko želi da živi laž?
So tonight we will look at what the Bible says,
Večeras ćemo razmatrati šta Biblija kaže
and we'll let the Bible determine who's who,
i dozvolit ćemo da Biblija kaže ko je ko,
so that our own speculations don't supersede the word.
tako da naša razmišljanja, naše spekulacije ne nadvišuju Božju reč.
Remember the little dictionary we spoke about last time?
Sećate se malog rečnika biblijskih simbola koji smo sinoć gledali,
Where prostitution was idolatry,
gde je prostitucija bila definisana kao idolatrija, idolopoklonstvo,
beasts were kingdoms,
zveri su bile carstva,
horns were king and kingdoms.
rogovi su predstavljali careve ili carstva.
Now, in the same context as we did last night, we're going to go through another chapter in the book of Daniel.
A u istom kontekstu kao i sinoć razmotrit ćemo jednu drugu glavu knjige proroka Danila.
This dream being in far greater detail, it was given to the prophet himself and not to the king.
I opet jedan san koji je ovog puta dat proroku, a ne caru, i ide u više detalja.
And it is thunderous.
A san je zapanjujući.
In Daniel chapter 7 verse 1,
U knjizi proroka Danila 7. poglavlju, 1. stih,
we are told that in the time of Belshazzar, he had this dream.
prve godine Valtazara, cara Vavilonskoga, usni Danilo san.
And God told him what was going to happen.
I Bog mu je rekao šta će se dogoditi.
It was an expansion of what he had seen and heard in the king's case.
To je bio produžetak onoga što je Danilo već čuo i video u slučaju carevog sna, opisanog u 2. glavi.
And in his vision he saw 4 winds
U svojoj viziji video je 4 vetra
striving upon a great sea.
kako se sudaraju na velikom moru.
And then he saw 4 great beasts come out of the sea, different from one another.
A zatim i 4 velike zveri koje izlaze iz mora i razlikuju se svaka jedna od druge.
Now if sea is nations and multitudes,
Ukoliko more predstavlja naciju ili mnoštvo,
and wind stands for war and strife,
a rat stoji a vetar predstavlja rat ili bunu,
and beasts stand for kings and kingdoms,
a zveri predstavljaju kraljevstva ili kraljeve,
then this text means that he saw that through war amongst the nations 4 great kingdoms would arise on the earth.
onda je video da će kroz ratove na zemlji se pojaviti 4 velika carstva.
So that's similar to what the king dreamt when he saw a statue with 4 metals.
Tako da je to slično onome što je sam car sanjao, car Navuhodonosor, kada je video statu načinjenu od 4 metala.
There are the definitions so that we don't put our own definitions into this.
Evo ponovo definicija biblijskih simbola, tako da i mi ne bismo sami davali svoje značenje.
And there are the texts.
A evo ovde biblijskih navoda gde se one navode.
Let's look at some of them briefly.
Da brzo razmotrimo neke od njih.
Revelation 17:15.
Otkrivenje 17. glava 15. stih.
The waters which you saw were peoples, multitudes, nations, tongues.
Vode koje si video su narodi, mnoštvo, nacije i jezici.
So there's the one definition.
To je jedna definicija.
Here are the four winds in Jeremiah,
A u knjizi proroka Jeremije 4 vetra se definišu,
talking about Elam, the nation.
govoreći o Elamcima, o naciji.
And here we have what we call Hebrew parallelism,
A ovdje imamo stilsku figuru jevrejskog paralelizma,
where something is said in one way and repeated in another way.
da jednu stvar kažete na jedan način, pa je onda ponovite na drugi način.
So the four winds against Elam mean dismayed before their enemies, before the sword.
Dakle, 4 vetra za Elam znači da su oni bili zbunjeni i izgubljeni pred svojim neprijateljima i zatim Bog je rekao poslaću mač.
So winds, war.
Dakle, vetrovi jednako rat.
And then Daniel 7:17, the four great beasts are four kingdoms that will arise from the earth.
A zatim sam Danilo tumači simbol i kaže u 17. stihu 4 velike zveri su 4 carstva.
So they're not computers or football teams, they are kingdoms.
Dakle, zver se ne odnosi ni na kompjutere, ni na fudbalske timove, već na carstva.
And here's the parallel, verse 17 says the four are four kings.
A ovdje 17. stih ima paralelu, kaže 4 su 4 cara,
But there are also kingdoms, because the king, of course, stands for the kingdom.
ali također to znači i carstvo, jer car predstavlja svoje carstvo.
And now he's going to go through the kingdoms just like we went through the statue.
A sada ćemo proći kroz ova carstva kao što smo i to sinoć učinili sa statuom.
The first was like a lion.
Prvo carstvo, prva zver bila je kao lav,
It had eagle's wings.
imala je krila orla,
And then it became powerful. It was lifted up.
postala je moćna i podigla se.
And it stood on his feet like a man.
A stajala je na stopalima kao čovjek.
So here was a kingdom lifting itself up like a man.
Dakle, evo jednog carstva koje se podiže i uspravlja kao čovjek.
And a man's heart was given to it.
I dato je srce čovečije.
We'll come back to that.
Vratit ćemo se na ovo.
Well, the first kingdom is a parallel to the head of gold in Daniel 2. It is Babylon.
Prvo carstvo je paralela sa zlatnom glavom iz druge glave, dakle to je Vavilon.
Any doubt about the symbol of the lion being Babylon?
A ako sumnjate da je lav upotrebljen za kao simbol za Vavilon,
Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 7
u knjizi proroka Jeremije 4:7
talks about a lion that has gone out of his lair
govori se o lavu koji je izašao iz jazbine,
that would destroy the Israelites.
koji će uništiti Izraelce.
And of course, it was Babylon that came to destroy the Israelites.
A naravno Vavilon je bio taj koji je uništio Izrael.
Now, a symbol of Babylon was the lion with the eagle's wings. So everybody knew what that was.
Simbol samog Vavilona bio je lav sa krilima orla.
Here I am pointing to the symbol of the lion with the eagle's wings, symbol of Babylon.
Evo ovdje vidimo to i na reljefu.
So the next kingdom
Sljedeće carstvo
was another beast.
bilo je predstavljeno još jednom zverju.
It was like a bear,
Ona je izgledala kao medved
and it was raised up on one side.
i bila je izdignuta na jednu stranu ili nagnuta.
That's interesting because the Medes and the Persians weren't equal in strength.
To je zanimljivo jer Miđani i Persijanci nisu bili jednake snage u Medopersijskom
And then it
carstvu.
had 3 ribs in its mouth.
A imalo je i 3 rebra u ustima.
And it was told to go and devour much flesh, other beasts, kingdoms in other words.
I bilo je rečeno da ide i da jede mnogo mesa, drugim rečeno druga carstva.
And the Medo-Persian Empire ruled from 539 to 331 BC.
Dakle, Medopersija je trajala od 539. do 331. pre nove ere.
And these, of course, were the 3 thrusts to conquer the Babylonian Empire.
Ovo su bila 3 pohoda da se osvoji Vavilonsko carstvo.
The one was to Lydia,
Jedno je bilo u Lidiju,
and the other one to Babylon itself,
drugo na sam Vavilon,
and the other one to conquer Egypt. So
a
those were
treće
the
da
3
se osvoji
ribs.
Egipat.
And then after this, there was another, a leopard-like beast,
A sljedeća zver je jedna koja podsjeća na leoparda,
and it had 4 wings.
a imala je 4 krila.
Now we already saw yesterday that out of Alexander's kingdom 4 would arise, said the Bible.
A već smo juče dakle vidjeli da će se Aleksandrovo grčko carstvo razdeliti na 4.
And that kingdom ruled from 331 to 168 BC.
I grčko carstvo 331. do 160. i koje je već bilo.
And the 4 parts was the kingdom of Cassander, Lysimachus, Ptolemy, and the Seleucid
A
kingdom.
4 naslednika bili su Kasander, Lizimah, Ptolomej i Seleuh.
So we're following the same sequence as we did last night.
Dakle, istu sekvencu sledimo kao i sinoć.
But then we come to the 4th beast.
Ali onda stižemo do 4. zveri.
Now, which was the 4th kingdom in last night's lecture?
A koje je bilo 4. kraljevstvo, carstvo sa sinoćnog predavanja?
It was Rome.
To je
It
bilo
was Rome.
rimsko carstvo.
And after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, the 4th beast, dreadful and terrible and exceedingly strong.
I videh u noćnoj viziji i 4. zver beše užasna i strašna, izuzetno jaka.
So here is this 4th one.
Evo dakle te 4. zveri.
And then it also has the element of iron in it. It had huge iron teeth.
I opet se spominje element kao element gvožđe i imala je ogromne gvozdene zube.
And it broke in pieces and conquered the whole of that.
I sve je pred sobom
Empire.
rasturala i gazila.
It was different from all the beasts that were before it.
Ova zver razlikovala se od sve 3 prethodne
And it had 10 horns.
i imala je 10 rogova.
Now, how many toes did the statue have?
A koliko nožnih prstiju je imao kip koji smo sinoć razmatrali?
10.
10 naravno.
So this one has 10 horns.
A ova zver ima 10 rogova.
And we're looking at this power sweeping through history.
I gledamo ovu silu kako mete kroz istoriju,
And there's something different.
ali kod nje ima nešto različito.
Now we still have to define tonight what it is that makes it different.
A večeras ćemo definisati šta je to što je čini različitom.
Well, verse 24 of Daniel 7 tells us,
A 24. stih 7. glave proroka Danila nam kaže:
it says, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise.
I 10 rogova jesu 10 careva koji će nastati iz toga carstva.
Pretty plain. Rome will be divided into 10.
Prilično direktno i jednostavno. Rim će se podeliti na 10 jedinica.
So 10 kingdoms would arise from it.
Dakle, 10 će carstava nastati iz njega.
And then another shall arise after them.
A posle njih nastaće drugi.
So after the 10 have come into existence, there will come another one.
Dakle, nakon što se pojave ovih 10, za njima će doći ovaj
And
specifičan.
this one, he will subdue 3 kings.
I on će se razlikovati od pređašnjih i pokorit će 3 cara.
So 3 of the 10 are going to go
Dakle, 3 od ovih prethodnih 10 on će eliminisati.
because of this one. This is fascinating. This is history in advance.
Ovo je fascinantno, ovo je istorija zapisana unapred.
But then there's a big surprise.
Ali jedno veliko, veliko iznenađenje.
How long will this continue, this kingdom continue?
Koliko dugo će nastaviti da postoji ovo carstvo?
And there's the answer. Verse
Evo imamo
22.
i odgovor u 22. stihu.
Until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given to the saints.
Dokle dođe starac i dade se sud svecima višnjega.
Wow. So if it arose after the fall of Rome into 10,
Dakle, ako se ovo carstvo podiže nakon što se Rim podelio na 10 carstava, kraljevstava,
and was going to exist until the return of Christ,
i ako će postojati do Hristovog povratka, do suda,
is it here now?
da li ono i danas postoji?
Obviously it must be here now.
Očigledno i danas mora postojati.
So it shouldn't be impossible to identify it.
Znači, nije nemoguće identifikovati ga.
Well, Rome was from 168 to BC to 476 AD.
Dakle, Rim je vladao 168. pre nove ere do 476. naše ere.
And then this little horn must arise.
A zatim se ovaj mali rog morao podići.
That's going to zap 3.
i ispred sebe zbrisati 3 druga kraljevstva.
So far we've got the exact same sequence as the statue of Daniel 2.
Dakle, imamo isti redosled kao i statua koja je opisana u 2. glavi knjige proroka Danila.
But Daniel is fascinated by this other horn.
Ali Danilo ostaje opčinjen ovim malim rogom.
And he said, I wanted to know the truth about this fourth beast.
I kaže, želeo sam da saznam istinu o ovoj 4. zveri.
And this fourth beast shall be a fourth kingdom on the earth, the answer is.
A ovo 4. zver bit će 4. carstvo na zemlji, kaže mu se u odgovoru.
It will be different, diverse, different
Ono će biti različito
from all the other kingdoms,
od svih ostalih kraljevstava.
and shall devour the whole earth.
I pokorit će celu zemlju.
Now, did Rome devour the whole earth?
Kaže ovdje izješće svu zemlju. Da li je neko, dakle, pokorio svu zemlju?
Did the Roman Empire include China and Japan and India?
Je li Rimsko carstvo išlo do Kine, Japana, Indije?
Or the South Sea Islands or
Ili
any
na
one of
neka
those?
tamo ostrva egzotična?
Yet the Bible says this power will
Još-
devour the whole earth.
Ipak Biblija kaže da će ova sila pokoriti celu zemlju.
That's very interesting.
To je stvarno zanimljivo.
So either the Bible is wrong or
Ili-
we're missing something.
Ili Biblija greši ili mi nešto nismo razumeli.
Or we are missing something.
Ili, dakle, smo mi propustili nešto da razumemo, da.
So Rome did not devour the whole earth in its original form.
Dakle, nije Rim pokorio celu zemlju kao u njenom originalnom izdanju,
But here's a question for you.
ali imam pitanje.
If the iron represents Rome
Ako gvožđe predstavlja Rim,
and the feet are of iron and clay,
a stopala onome liku od juče su pomešana zemlja i gvožđe,
then are there not elements of Rome in the feet?
zar nema onda elemenata Rima i u stopalima posle Rima?
So maybe Rome is not really dead.
Možda Rim još uvek nije mrtav.
Maybe Rome is just different.
Možda je Rim samo promenio pojavnu formu.
Let's have a look.
Da razmotrimo.
So the 10 kingdoms,
10
476,
carstava od 476.
and this power would exist until the second coming of Christ.
I ova sila će postojati sve do drugog Hristovog dolaska, do kraja.
Remember Daniel chapter 2, in the days of these kings, which was Europe,
Setite se u Danilu 2. glavi, dakle u vreme tih careva,
the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will not be destroyed
Bog nebeski uspostavit će carstvo koje neće biti uništeno
and will exist forever and ever.
i trajaće večno.
So now it gets very interesting. Daniel is considering the horns.
Dakle, sad postaje zaista zanimljivo. Danilo razmatra ovaj rog,
So he's looking at the 10,
dakle prvo vidi 10 rogova
and then he's fascinated by this other one that comes up amongst them.
i ostaje zapanjen ovim jednim malim koji se među njima pojavljuje.
Oh, by the way, it comes up amongst them.
Vidite, on izlazi između njih.
So geographically, where will it arise?
Dakle, gde će se on geografski pojaviti?
Must be Europe.
Mora biti u Evropi.
Can't be anywhere else.
Ne može nigde drugde.
And it says little one, but the correct, better way to put it would be it grew from littleness.
Kaže ovde mali, ali bolji prevod bi bio da je izrastao iz maloga.
And before whom 3 of the first horns were plucked out.
I pred kime su iščupana 3 od prethodnih 10 rogova.
That means totally removed.
Što znači da su ova 3 prethodna potpuno uklonjena.
And then there's something interesting.
A sad nešto zanimljivo.
You see, this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man.
Ovaj rog je imao oči kao oči čovečije.
Now we heard that somewhere before.
Kao
Do you
da smo
remember
to
where?
negde čuli. Sećate se?
Babylon
Vavilon.
was given to stand up like a man.
Vavilonu je dato da se podigne, da se uspravi kao čovek.
Now you remember that Babylon challenged God.
Sjećate se, Vavilon je izazivao Boga.
Babylon said, "No ways, God. I want that statue to be gold from the top to the bottom. Not your word, my word."
Vavilon je rekao, ne, nema ni govora Bože. Hoću da načinimo statu koja je cela od zlata, a ne samo glava. Neće biti kako ti kažeš Bože, nego kako mi hoćemo.
Man lifting himself up to be equal with God.
Čovek koji se uzdiže da se izjednači sa Bogom.
Is this power going to do the same thing?
Da li će ova sila činiti isto?
Well, the clue is he's starting to speak pompous words.
On čak počinje da govori velike, pompezne reči.
In another place, Daniel says it's blasphemy that he speaks.
A na drugom mestu Danilo kaže da on govori bogohulne stvari.
So like Babylon, he's going to make himself broad.
Dakle, kao Vavilon, on će se uzvišavati.
And here we have the definite description in verse 24.
Imamo potpuni opis u 24. stihu.
The 10 horns would come out of the kingdom, the verse says.
Dakle, on će se...
The 10 horns would come out of Rome, out of the...
Dakle, iz Rima će izniknuti 10 rogova.
The little one would arise after the 10.
A zatim, posle ovih 10 uzdignuće se i mali rog.
Then it would destroy 3.
Koji će uništiti 3 prethodna.
So we have a historic time when it arises.
Tako da možemo da zaključimo i u koje vreme se to odigralo istorijski.
So it must be after this divisions into the Anglo-Saxon, the French, the Burgundians, the Visigoths, etc.
Dakle, to mora biti nakon podele na Vizigote, Franke, Anglosaksonce i ostale.
And then which 3 were destroyed?
A zatim su 3 bila uništena.
The first one to go were the Heruli.
Prvi su bili Heruli, 493.
And by 493 they were history. By 493 they were history. They were
Već su
gone.
otišli u istoriju do 493. godine.
It's interesting that the Heruli controlled Italy and therefore the city of Rome.
Zanimljivo je da su oni kontrolisali ili bili nastanjeni u Italiji, a shodno tome i Rim je bio pod njima.
So they hindered this power.
Oni su dakle ovu silu potisnuli.
And therefore they had to go.
Trebalo je da ova sila nestane s toga.
The next were the Vandals,
Sledeći su Vandali,
who were destroyed in 534.
koji su 534. zatrti.
It's interesting that they also ruled over Italy and over Rome.
Zanimljivo je da su oni vladali nad Italijom i nad Rimom.
So the Vandals were removed.
Tako da su i oni bili uklonjeni.
And finally the Ostrogoths,
I napokon Ostrogoti,
who also ruled over Rome.
koji su takođe imali vlast nad Rimom.
And they had to be removed.
I morali su biti uklonjeni.
Daniel 7 verse 9.
7. glava 9. stih.
But he sees a magnificent vision in heaven.
Ali Danilo vidi veličanstvenu nebesku viziju.
He beholds a throne room.
On vidi jednu prestonu dvoranu.
And the Ancient of Days, God, did sit.
Gde je starac sedeo.
And it describes all the angels around him.
I opisuju se svi anđeli koji su oko njega.
And verse 10 says the judgment was set and the books were opened.
A zatim se knjige otvoriše i sud je otpočeo.
And then Daniel sees one like the Son of Man come with the clouds of heaven
A zatim
to the Ancient of Days.
Danilo vidi jednog kao sina čovečijeg koji na oblacima nebeskim dolazi pred starca.
Not to this earth. This is a heavenly scene. He comes to the Ancient of Days.
Dakle, dolazi pred starca i ova scena se dešava na nebu, ne na zemlji.
And then the Bible says, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom.
I njemu se daje vlast i slava i carstvo.
So the real owner of this earth is the Son of Man.
Tako da je pravi vlasnik ove planete sin čovečiji.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Daniel 7:18.
Ali sveci višnjega preuzeće carstvo za uvek i zauvek. U 18.
So that's
stihu
the
piše.
same as the end of Daniel 2 story.
Tako da je kraj ove vizije isti kao i kraj vizije u 2. glavi.
But before this event, there will first be a major conflict between the people of God and this little power, this little horn.
Ali pre ovog završnog događaja bit će jedan veliki konflikt između svetaca višnjega, Božjih ljudi i sile malog roga.
So Daniel told us when it will arise,
Daniel nam kaže kada će se ovaj mali rog podići
and Daniel tells us that it will be here until the return of Christ.
i također nas obaveštava da će ostati na zemlji sve do Hristovog povratka.
Let's get a little bit more information from Paul.
Da dobijem još malo detalja od apostola Pavla.
And in 2 Thessalonians 2, 1-10, Paul writes about this power.
A o toj sili apostol Pavle piše u 2. Solunjanima poslanici, 2. glavi od 1 do 10.
Because people were expecting Christ to return.
Jer ljudi očekuju Hristov povratak.
And so in verse 3 he says, let no one deceive you,
Tako da u 3. stihu apostol Pavle kaže da vas niko ne prevari.
for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first and that man of sin be revealed.
Jer taj dan neće doći dok ne dođe najpre otpad i ne pokaže se čovek bez zakonja, sin pogibli.
And it calls him the son of perdition.
On ga naziva sinom pogibli.
Interesting, only 2 people are called the son of perdition.
Zanimljivo, samo ima 2 čoveka ili 2 sina pogibli.
The one is Judas,
Jedan je Juda,
who was a disciple of Christ
koji je bio Hristov učenik
and deceived him or betrayed him with a
i
kiss.
koji ga je izdao poljupcem.
So here was someone that looked like a follower and yet he was a betrayer.
I evo još jednoga koji izgleda kao sledbenik Hristov, a zapravo je njegov izdajica.
Is it possible that the second one will look like a follower but be a betrayer?
Da li je moguće da će ovaj drugi izgledati kao Hristov sledbenik, a biti zapravo
Well, let
izdajica?
us ask Paul when he shall arise.
Da pitamo apostola Pavla kada će se on podići.
First, he tells us that this power opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God. That's what Daniel said too.
Prvo nas Pavlo obaveštava isto što nam i Danilo kaže, a to je da će se protiviti i podizati više svega što se zove Bog ili se poštuje.
Or that he's worshipped so that he, as God, sits in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Tako da će on sesti u crkvi Božjoj kao Bog, pokazujući sebe da je Bog.
What blasphemy!
Kakva hula.
So this is no secular power, this is a religious power.
Dakle, ovo nije svetovna, ovo je religijska sila.
Here we have another clue.
Evo još jednog detalja bitnog.
Now, this Antichrist, says 1 John,
Ovaj antihrist, kako piše u prvoj poslanici apostola Jovana,
that he should come,
on će doći,
is already in the world. He's already busy.
a on je već tu u svetu, on se već bavi svojim poslom.
So in the days of the disciples, he was already busy working.
Znači, on je
behind the
već
scenes.
delovao u vreme dok su Hristovi učenici bili živi.
And then Paul goes on.
A zatim apostol Pavle u poslanici Solunjanima nastavlja.
And he says, remember
I kaže, zapamtite
that when I was still with you,
da dok sam još bio s vama,
I told you these things.
govorio sam vam o ovome.
So Paul told them something that he doesn't want to put into writing here.
Dakle, Pavle im je nešto govorio što još nije bilo zapisano.
And now you know that what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time.
I sad znate što zadržava da se ne javi u svoje vreme,
But this mystery of iniquity is already working behind the scenes.
ali ova tajna bezakonja već se kuje iza scene.
That was in Paul's time.
To je bilo u vreme apostola Pavla.
Amazing. People are waiting for an antichrist to come sometime in the future.
Zapanjujuće, ljudi očekuju da će se antihrist pojaviti negde u budućnosti.
The Bible doesn't know that one. It's only in the minds of men.
Ne, Biblija ne poznaje tako što, to je samo u ljudskim umovima.
So Paul said there was a power that was preventing this antichrist power from coming into existence.
Pavle kaže, dakle, da je postojala sila koja je sprečavala da se sila Antihrista pojavi, da dođe u postojanje.
But when this power is removed, then he will be revealed.
Ali kada se ova sila koja zadržava ukloni, onda će se pokazati Antihrist.
Gratan Guinness, in his famous book, Romanism and the Reformation,
Gratan Guinness u svojoj čuvenoj knjizi Romanizam i reformacija,
he just simply says that Paul must have told them, but he didn't write it down in his epistle.
kaže da je Pavle morao nešto tako reći, usmeno saopštiti svojim stadu, ali nije to zapisao.
So to know what he was talking about, we have to go to the early church writers to find out what they knew.
Da bismo shvatili šta je Pavle hteo da kaže, moramo otići do ranih hrišćanskih autora i vidjeti šta je to bilo.
So what did the early Christians believe on this issue?
Dakle, šta su rani hrišćani verovali po ovom pitanju?
Well, here is Tertullian, and he wrote here in about 200 AD.
Evo Tertulijana koji je pisao oko 200. nove ere.
And this is what he writes.
Evo šta piše.
He who now hinders must hinder until he be taken out of the way. So this is the power that's preventing Antichrist from coming.
Onaj ko sada zadržava, mora zadržavati sve dok ne bude uklonjeno, tako da sve dok ne bude uklonjeno s puta.
Then he says, what obstacle is there but the Roman state?
Koja prepreka postoji osim rimske države?
The falling away of which by being scattered into 10 kingdoms shall introduce Antichrist.
Čiji pad, kada bude rasturena u 10 carstava, uvešće Antihrista.
Aha, so the early Christians knew that Paul had said to them, when Rome falls, Antichrist will come.
Dakle, rani hrišćani su znali da kada Rim padne, tada će na scenu stupiti Antihrist.
Of course he couldn't write that then, the Romans would have arrested him just there.
Naravno da Pavle nije mogao tako nešto tada da napiše, Rimljani bi ga momentalno uhapsili.
Well, here is Bishop of Constantinople in 390.
390. biskup Konstantinopoljski piše.
He says the same thing. There's only one thing that restrains now.
Ima samo jedna stvar koja sada zadržava.
And until he be taken away, that is when the Roman Empire is taken out of the way. Then Antichrist will
to će
come.
biti, dakle, to će se ukloniti kada rimska država, rimsko carstvo bude uklonjeno s puta.
That's exactly what Daniel
Tada će
said.
on, Antihrist, doći.
Daniel said, when the 10 horns arise, when Rome has fallen into 10, Antichrist arises.
To isto što Danilo kaže, kada se podignu 10 rogova, onda će ovaj mali rog iznići.
So, in other words, from Irenaeus down to all the early writers, all knew that when Rome falls, Antichrist will come.
Dakle, sve u svemu, svi rani pisci znali su da će Antihrist doći onda kada rimsko carstvo bude uklonjeno.
And here Gratan Guinness writes,
A Gratan Guinness opet piše
that while the Caesars held imperial power, it was impossible for the predicted Antichrist to arise.
dok je Cezar imao carsku moć, bilo je nemoguće da se predskazani Antihrist pojavi.
And then, of course, Paul did not identify the restraining power because he could have been arrested.
A Pavle apostol nije mogao da jasno ukaže koja je to sila koja zadržava, jer bi u tom slučaju bio uhapšen.
So both Paul and Daniel are spot on as to when Antichrist would arise.
Dakle, i apostol Pavle i prorok Danilo znali su tačno kada će da se pojavi Antihrist.
And Daniel 7 verse 24 says that it is he that shall be different from the others.
A za njega Danilo kaže da će biti različit od ostalih.
So the difference in the fourth empire lies in the power of the little horn.
Dakle, razlika ovog četvrtog carstva, četvrte zveri, leži u sili malog roga.
And it is the little horn power that will conquer the whole world.
A sila malog roga, mali rog je taj koji će pokoriti ceo svet.
And that little horn power must be with us right now, busy conquering the whole world.
A taj mali rog mora da je sada među nama i zauzet je osvajanjem čitavog sveta.
Are we biblical thus far?
Pokoravanjem.
Are we biblical thus far? Are we biblical in our argument thus far?
Da li smo do sad u svojoj argumentaciji ostali na načelima Biblije?
Is that what the Bible says?
Je li to ono što Biblija kaže?
Clearly, that's when he will arise and he will be there until the end.
Jasno je, dakle, da će se podići i da će postojati sve do kraja istorije.
So let's go through this Daniel 7 and look at all the attributes of the little horn.
Da prođemo kroz celu 7. glavu proroka Danila i vidimo sve karakteristike malog roga,
Because the Bible is very accurate.
jer je Biblija veoma precizna.
It wants you to know. It wants you to know.
Biblija želi da znamo, da vi znate.
There must be no doubt.
Nema sumnje.
And
Ne
it
sme
mustn't be
biti sumnje.
50% right.
Ne može biti 50% tačno,
It mustn't be 80% right.
niti 80%,
Not even 95%
čak ni
right.
95% tačno.
If this is God, then how right must it be?
Ako je ovo Bog koji govori, onda tako mora da bude.
100% or nothing.
100% ili ništa.
Nothing else is good enough.
Ništa drugo nije dovoljno dobro.
So every single attribute must fit, or else we haven't got the right power.
Ili svaka karakteristika mora da se uklapa u opis iz Danila ili ne razmatramo pravu silu kao Antihrista.
Are you in agreement with that?
Jel se slažete s tim?
Okay, let's go.
Dobro, idemo dalje.